Hoover, and today I'm going to be taking you through a tour of the history. So come along, Mrs. Danowski's class, and you can join too, Miss Danowski and Miss Collodi if you're there. Let's go! On a side note, you shall notice my hair will change from time to time during the video. The federal government tried to pass the McNary-Haugen bill, which would buy crops from farmers so they would have more money and the government would have a surplus to try and keep the things moving along. This in turn did not work out. In 1928, I won the election against Alfred E. Smith, a governor of New York, 4 times counting, I might also add. And me, just a simple boy working in a mining company. You see, the key to my success is telling the Americans one thing. And the one thing I told them, that the end of poverty was near, and they just bought that up. And that is how I got into election, which wasn't all false, of course, until the stock market crashed. My time in office, there was a big boom in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. People were buying stocks left and right, I mean left and right, coming from out of nowhere. And what happened was they put in low percentages, and they'd get out high money that they would just be borrowing. That's where the stock market started to crash. Basically, the Great Depression was from 1929 up until 1940, which is when the economy just took a plunge and unemployment just skyrocketed up there. As you can imagine, with no money for the people, businesses weren't making much either. Roughly about 90,000 businesses got put out of business because there was no money to spend. As you can probably imagine, people are going crazy during this time period. And by 1933, 1,100 banks actually had closed down. When people ran to the banks to get their money, the bank couldn't do anything, and most of them failed, 1,100. And since they all failed, there was no protection against the people's money. So, while rich got richer, the poor just got poorer. In 1930, Congress passed the Hawley-Smoot Tariff, which was a tariff stopping foreign trade into America. This wasn't such a good idea. It dropped employment in the workers for the export-import stocks, and about 40%, maybe even higher, trade dropped. It was pretty bad. Now, what a lot of people don't remember is Europe and Germany, their economy took a toll for the worse too. They had similar problems, definitely not the same, but they were close, but not as bad. Now, before I leave you good Americans, well, I'd like to say, main reasons why the Great Depression happened were definitely war debts and tariffs. And the crisis in the farming section, well, that took a big toll too. Well, another problem was easy credit. People just didn't even realize what they were spending because it was so easy to get the money. And, well, just an imbalance of economy and power. Too much money to certain people when there's not to others. Now, as I leave you to go to sleep, I'm going to leave you with an important message that you should definitely listen to. Thank you. I appreciate this a lot, Mrs. Danowski. I hope you guys really enjoyed my video today and learned a lot from it, not as much as just entertainment ones. I'm going to now hand it over to Majetta, Bobby, Nick, Casey, and Marissa. But if you want to see this and other films like so, or completely different, just head on over to youtube.com/ShadySideFilms. I appreciate it a lot, Mr. Nowski. Please don't yell at me or combine his points with this.